Are you looking to grow revenues, increase profitability, or obtain financing? If so, you came to the right place.
Running a business is all about leadership. How do you become a better leader? Learn from the successful entrepreneurs and business owners how to lead your organization more effectively. That's why we created Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business, to help you succeed with your host, Andrew Frazier, Business Growth Pro and CFO and founder of the Small Business Pro University. Every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're joined by experienced entrepreneurs and business owners who share their secrets to success via live stream. Also, every Friday morning, we release a new podcast episode. Either way, you will learn about developing your business leadership skills from our roster of highly performing guest experts. Leadership Live is one of the many valuable resources provided through the Small Business Pro University, empowering business owners to learn, profit, and grow. Find out more at sbprou.com.
Good evening and welcome to Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business. I'm your host, Andrew Frazier, and once again, we're going to get together this evening and really just talk key things about success in small business. Now, as you know, your business can only go as far as you're prepared to take it. And to be able to take it further, it's about developing your leadership skills and becoming a better leader and developing your business knowledge. So that's what this show is all about, really creating opportunities to develop your skills so you can be more successful in business. Each week we have a tremendous guest who shares their expertise on a topic that's important for entrepreneurs and small business owners. We always talk about your most important job as a business owner, which is marketing and sales. So we do a lot of episodes on marketing and sales because it's important to understand marketing and sales and learn as much as you can about it. Because if that's your most important job, you need to do it as well as possible. So today we have a special guest who's going to talk about really how to more effectively market using visual marketing. Definitely there's a lot of different ways you can market and a lot of different things, but visual marketing is something that can positively impact all your marketing efforts across the board. So very excited to bring on my guest to really talk about visual marketing and how that integrates into your marketing strategy. So my guest today is Jason Martin. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing well.
Great. And Jason has been in the visual marketing field for a long time, and really has done some great things for all types of clients, small, medium, and large. And I'm going to let him talk a little bit about what he does and his journey, if that's all right. So, Jason, you want to take it from here?
Thank you, Andrew. So, it's been a minute. I've had a camera in my hand for a long time. It didn't start out that way. It's funny. I tell other people love story, but the story about me and photography and video was a love story. I had a few recording studio. I was into music and all this other stuff. A friend of mine brought me to the big photo show, and I went there. I saw a Photoshop magazine. I fell in love with Photoshop. I'm not an artsy person, but through Photoshop, I was able to do like really creative stuff with pictures, and I enjoy it. And I got a camera as a gift just to take pictures and do art. And like I said, it was cool to me because, like I said, I wasn't like an artist, or I didn't draw or paint. And it just kind of grew from there, did a few weddings and I just loved it more and more. And the idea of getting paid to do something you love just kind of took it from there. But I still don't know how I was doing weddings back then with one camera running around, not knowing much. And it just evolved from there. Like the whole industry changed with the invention of DSLR, doing video. Photography and video kind of became one. So if you did photography, you understand a little bit about video. Two different art, but it just made it a little bit simpler to transition. Um, then we got into business, photography and video for business. But then the world as we know it changed. I remember a time when having a business used to be all about a brick and mortar. Now it's your website and it's online and the .com, and we're just constantly evolving. And I felt like we've evolved with that. You know, when we started out 2008, our company name was Just Pray. Then we became Just Pray. Then we became J Martin Productions. We opened a wedding company, J Martin Weddings, and we just kind of kept growing. Uh, on the business side, we ended up moving to Central Jersey. Not that we stopped doing Jersey work in North Jersey, but we had an office in Central Jersey where we just expanded more. And just up to date now. Uh, our new company name is JM Multimedia Group, and that's a big part of what I'll be explaining in the call is why we change and what is the transition. But we're just growing overall. We also have, besides JM Multimedia Group, besides the wedding company and the corporate company, we have a company that just do headshots. That's PFI Photography. So we're growing in numbers and team and all of that stuff. And that's all because that we're living in a space and time that everything is visual marketing. Everything is video. The way we talk to each other, we don't just make phone calls anymore. We send texts, we send pictures, uh, we FaceTime. When I remember when you were putting that 6-piece furniture together, you used to read the manual and mess it up anyway. Now you go on YouTube and watch a video. I have young kids and nephews. I I realized that they used to run around and play and make noise, but if you have young kids, you come in the room, you see them quiet as a bird on their tablet. What's on there? Photography and video. So the next generation is already being prepared to be very visual learners, very visual and everything else like that. And that's what I want to talk to you about. Whether you're a small or big business, bigger business might already understand is that how important it is to be a part of what's happening now as far as just that transition over to everything being visual, whether you want it to or not. Like whether you decide to be a part of marketing that way, the things that you're doing now is already marketing you that way, whether you're in it or not. Um, but as a company, I realized that we're not just a photo company or a video company. We're in marketing. And I'm going to explain some different ways as this call, but we just position ourselves from just the years of experience we're working with big and small businesses to say, hey, we're not just going to come in and take your picture. We're going to take the right picture.
Okay. So, Jason, let's step back for a minute. You've got a lot of things going on. And, one of the big things you talked about is something that a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners go through is, really your company evolved a lot over time. And, how did you make some of those transitions and what was difficult for you about making those transitions?
Whew. I think you got to be crazy to sometimes be an entrepreneur. It's kind of like playing the lottery, A lot of people play, but not everybody win. A lot of people open business, but not a lot of people in the end is worth their time. But true entrepreneur, they don't have a choice. They can't work for someone else. It's in their blood. It's what they do. Their business is going to survive because they have that tenacity. They have that dedication to making it happen. It wasn't like just this peachy, just growing. There was times that I was like, you know what, I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this anymore. We talked about that transition from Just Pray Production to J Martin Productions. I felt like as a person, as a team, we grew a lot, but we started out doing cheap photography and video, and we market ourselves or niche ourselves off. Our clients wanted the cheap stuff, but when you can't sustain a business, you can't have a family, you can't get quality team members, you can't survive that way. So, through the sheer necessity, you you pivot, you change, you scratch it out, and you start all over again. You try other things. I told you at that point, we also went into corporate, which is a whole different market. So it's not easy, but it just happens. Just like life, you don't wake up and you're in college. You go through first grade and second grade, and sometimes it's tough. And a lot of exams, a lot of tests and trials and winning. If you keep going, it one day you're walking across that stage, getting that degree.
Okay, no, that makes sense. Definitely, it's a process. The longer you're in business, the easier it is to stay in business. But I think everybody's had second thoughts. Actually, in my book, one of the chapters is called "Can I Get My Old Job Back?" Because definitely, sometimes it could be hard, and a steady paycheck looks pretty nice at different times when you're in business for yourself. But over the long term, there's a lot of positive benefits. So, definitely, marketing has evolved over the years. And, that's one of the things that has, caused your business to evolve. But when you think of marketing, what does that really mean? Because different people have different definitions and thoughts around it. And it's important, especially a lot of business owners, sometimes sales and marketing seem like they might be the same thing, but they aren't really. So what does marketing mean to you?
Marketing is letting your ideal customer know that you offer the service they need, or letting people know you're in business. Another way is letting people know you're in business. Um, Marketing could be that used to be, if you have a storefront, the sign on the window says cleaners, tailor. It's just letting people know you're in business. You could be a great whatever it is you are, but nobody knows you do it. You're not gonna have any customers. So marketing is letting your customer know the service you offer.
Okay, so it's really about starting to develop a relationship with your customer to help them to know you're there and know what you do and consider you for business. One of the things I always say is, the better you market, the easier it is to sell.
Mm.
And that's really what it's all about. So, marketing has evolved a lot, especially over the last few years, and visual has become a big part. So that's one of the reasons why we wanted to talk about that tonight. But before we do that, I'm just going to take a quick minute to introduce the Small Business Pro University, because that's who we produce the show through. And then we'll be back talking with Jason about visual marketing. Do you own your business, or does it own you? Is your business growing, and are you making enough money? As a business owner, there are so many things you need to know to become more successful. Hello, my name is Andrew Frazier, the Business Growth Pro and CFO. I created the Small Business Pro University for you. Small Business Pro University has self-paced, dynamic, multimedia learning experiences created by more than 20 instructors who are business owners just like you. Small Business Pro University will empower you to become a masterpreneur by learning the secrets to creating a successful enterprise, to go from working in your business to working on your business. Take advantage of our strategic coaching program, or just simply choose the courses that you need. At www.sbprou.com, we will empower you to thrive and not just survive, and make more money in any business environment. Great. Welcome back to Leadership Live at 805 Talking Small Business. I'm here with Jason Martin, and we're chatting about visual marketing and how that you can have better results when you focus on the visual marketing component of your marketing. So, Jason, what is visual marketing and why is it important?
I have a quick, interesting point. If you caught me off guard a second ago, I noticed the picture that you just posted. I guess you grabbed it from LinkedIn, and I'm guilty of what I tell everybody to do. I didn't update my LinkedIn picture. I have a lot better picture. I have better pictures now because I understand digital marketing now. I have a camera in the picture. I have different things going on. So it's interesting. I didn't even know that picture was going to be there. I would have asked you, but that's digital marketing. Like your headshot is your number one digital. It's like it's more important than your business card. Because whether you like it or not, people want to. The old school, they would look in your eyes. In this digital world, they'll look at your headshot, and they're judging: is he happy? Is he confident? And is he friendly? And one of the things that we're very successful at is doing people headshot. Our company, PFI Headshot Photography, we're number one in the Central Jersey. We have over 155-star reviews. People, and every week we get new one, people saying they love their headshot, but more importantly what they're saying is their headshot worked, whether they're trying to get a job, whether they're trying to think. And I don't just take a headshot because it looks good. It's marketing. So if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, depending on the type of law you practice or that you concentrate on, if you're a realtor, they need to be different, and you need to use different pictures for different things because they market you different. There's a lot more to it, but a simple answer is your headshot says a lot about you.
Okay, great. And one thing I always talk about is, as a small business owner, you may have a business and a business name, but you really are your brand. People gravitate to and know, like, and trust people, not companies, unless you spend a lot of money on marketing.
That you can't say that enough. One thing I learned is that there's a lot of there's a lot of realtors. That's why that headshot or that conversation with you, they're doing business with you. Like, I know there is some products that sell yourself. If you're selling a car or a house, people might really want the particular car that you have, but you affect the transaction. They might like the car, but if they like you, it's easier. They might not like you, so they don't even want your car or want your house because you're involved. You play a very important role, and I think what small business sometimes do, whether they're making pies or whatever the case may be, they sell the pie, but they don't take care of themselves and they don't market themselves properly. But whether they like it or not, they judge you just as much as they judge the pie, the car, or the house.
Right. And before you taste the pie, you're going to have to choose to buy the pie. And, you've got to, they tend to buy it from you because they know they usually before someone buys from you, they got to know you, like you, and trust you. So, that's a great point.
Can I just drop something right in there? Because, I'm a photographer, and, we do photography and video. So it's easy for me to come on here and say, hey, you need photography, you need video, and all of that stuff. But as we get into the conversation, you don't always need a professional, but you do need good photography and you need good video. But I'm in a place, like I said, the world needs me. They needs what I'm doing. I don't have to sell that much. Like, if you don't understand the importance of photography or video, we can't have a conversation yet because you're not going to value what I do. You're going to have to learn that for yourself and then come talk to me. But if you're out there and you have a small business and somewhere on your small business you have stock photos, not real pictures of things, that's bad marketing. Only because, as we just said, that people do business with people. So when I go on your website and I see not real people, it's a little takeaway from there. So you need, those are opportunity for you to really market yourself and market your product. I'm going to give you just one other thing, Andrew, in the idea of visual marketing. that I see tons of people doing, and this is a realtor mistake. Realtor needs visual marketing more than anybody else, but realtor tends to market the property and not themselves. The property comes and go, but you're the remaining factor, so you have to market yourself. And I'll give you a quick example of that. We have a lot of realtors that we have relationship with, and they'll hire us when they get a new listing to come out and take pictures of the house and drone, different things like that, and they'll pay us and then we'll leave. But you just waste the resource. You had a professional photographer with a camera that came out and they just took pictures of the house. How about the photographer's already there with his camera taking pictures? How about, as a realtor, you take a picture with that house and post that picture on social media and say, hey, this house is for sale. For the MLS, you can't put a sold sign, but hey, why don't you put the sold sign, take a picture while the photographer is there with the sold sign, save it for when the house sold, and then post that picture. Like, market yourself with the property, because that will get you more properties. And this is the case where I'm not asking you to spend more money. Most realtors get a photographer to take pictures of the thing, but show up and get pictures taken of yourself. That's just one simple way of like using visual marketing and marketing yourself, not just the product you're selling, with things that you're already doing and not thinking. I tell my clients that, but that's an Andrew secret that I just put out there.
Okay. No, I mean, definitely, right on. I mean, one of the things I tell business owners is, you have to be cheap or frugal to survive as a business owner. So you have to be as creative as possible and make sure every dollar you invest, you get the most value out of. So that's great planning. If you plan for the future, you can do things now that prepare you for the future and position you better. So definitely a great example.
And while I'm there, just a few other tips for realtors. And like I said, and this is not from like I just woke up and I'm like, hey, this is a good idea. This is from working with top agents for years and years. And I noticed it just clicked. And that's where a lot of the marketing things that we come on when we work with small business, when we get hired by the big company and they're flying us to places to do different things, or the top realtors, I notice what the top realtors do. And I notice what the realtors that doesn't have as much listing do. The top realtors spend more money marketing themselves. You're going to remember them, not their property. But in that same vein of like marketing yourself, when you're a realtor, your headshot is even more important. You're a realtor. Why have a gray background? I know some companies, everyone have a same background or something like that. But for your social media, for some of your pictures that you put on listing, take a picture with a house behind you. If you have an area that you're frequenting, let's say you're specialized in the Newark area, find a popular monument or a popular place in Newark, stand out there and take a picture. So if someone from that area sees the picture, they're like, they're from around here. Pictures tell 1,000,000 words or 1,000 words or whatever the case may be. That's digital marketing, using pictures to send messages without words, So a simple idea is to take a picture in a local landmark that people in that area know you're from or you serve that area. Smile in your pictures, put houses behind you. It's the little things that's going to separate you from everybody else with a high school background picture. Just once again, I'm not saying spend more money. I'm just saying just be smarter and more visual about how you're marketing yourself.
No, that's a great point. Business is competitive, and you're out there competing against other people, and how you look visually makes a big difference. I invest in video for different things, and it definitely comes across in a good way for a lot of people. So something to think about. One of the things I've been investing in video for years, is my Power Breakfast events. We did a conference last week, and I'll just do a quick overview because it turned out to be a really great conference and a really great experience for people. So every quarter or so we do the Power Breakfast. We just did it in Newark over the 29th, and we have different speakers. I spoke on the topic of maximizing your profit. We had a panel on maximizing the value of your business. We had some great panelists who participated on the panel. Then we had Jimmy Newson, who spoke over lunch on, leveraging data for your maximum impact. And then we wrapped things up with a panel moderated by Casey Carpenter, talking about how you maximize the revenue for your business. And these are panelists who really brought some valuable resources. So, visually, images are key. So I try and do really good images, but also video is even, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. And, I think in many ways, a video is worth 1,000 pictures. So I'll show you a quick video that really enhances and shows you what the event's all about. If you are looking to increase revenues, improve profitability, and or obtain financing for your business, you need to check out the Power Breakfast and Small Business Pro conferences.
My name is Andrew Frazier. One of the things we're here to do is supercharge your day.
Today's Power Breakfast has really been a phenomenal experience. I think it's exactly what business owners need, some true guidance of people who are genuine and really are leading them in the true direction of business growth and expansion.
The Power Breakfast is so important for the entrepreneurial community because it gives the various business people who come together an opportunity to interact and also do some business.
These events, hosted by Andrew Frazier, President and COO of Small Business Like a Pro, will supercharge your day.
Okay, welcome back to Leadership Live. Talking here with Jason Martin about really how to market more effectively using visual marketing strategies. So, two components that you had mentioned are pictures and videos. What are the pluses and minuses of each, and how do you determine which you should use in different circumstances?
That's a tough question because a video is just more pictures. So, I think when someone calls me about, an event that they're having, and they're like, yeah, I think I want to do pictures and I think I want to do video. Pictures is great. It's quick. You take a picture, you could promote it on your social media, you could put it out there, you could share it. Sometimes I don't recommend to spend the money on video. I always ask, well, what's the purpose of the video that you're going to shoot? For example, what we saw was an effective use of the video that you just did. You had the Power Breakfast and you used the video to promote the next one. If you have an event and it's a one-time only event, people buy their tickets or they show up, but and you want to share it with people how the event went, pictures might be enough. I mean, to spend the money on the video, it's not like you could use the video to promote it next year, but it just depends on you. I think that pictures give details, but videos tell a story. Because video, not only are you able to leverage the pictures, but you have words. So you could see somebody laugh, you could see an entrance, you could see someone walk in. If you're selling a product, someone could look at the picture, they could see it. If they watch a video, they could see how it works, that you could see a lot more. We need to know that video on Amazon or different places, or when you're doing products, have about an 80 to 90 conversion rate. If you're a service-based business and you're not selling product, video of yourself, video of your company. If I'm researching who you are without the pressure of sales or talking to you, having a video that introduces who you are, tells your story, gets people comfortable with you before meeting. And really the power comes in is not when you talk about yourself, is putting the camera on your ideal camera and letting them explain your value, or why they choose you, or what people should expect from choosing you. So people always say, I'm going to do my research, but nobody wants to read that much. If you could have a video and they could feel like they did their research by the video you share, they'll do it. And that's why so many people get tricked online with stuff, because people believe what they see and what they watch. But we're not saying it to be tricky. We're just saying that video is a powerful tool in helping people to get to know you and building relationships quicker, and in a space people are comfortable with doing it and on their own time.
Okay. So, all right. So there's, appropriate situations for each, but sometimes there's a combination. So one thing you talked about, which is key, is, you talk about research. And usually people, a big part of marketing is your brand, and a big part of your brand you can't control. It's what people say about you or think about you when you're not there. But you can influence your brand. And, you talked about video being, a good medium for being able to do that. If you want a video to talk about your brand, what should the video contain, and what are the steps to actually doing a good video?
Good question. This is gonna be value. I'm gonna drop another secret. I know everyone is expecting me to say, hey, hire a professional, come out and shoot the video, different things like that. I definitely believe if you're in business, you should have one professional. The main video that talks about you and what you do should be put in the hand of the professional. If the video looks self-shot, or if it doesn't look great, then sometimes people judge your brand or the value of your brand by the video you put together. However, some of the most important video you need for your business, you don't need a professional. You could do it yourself, or have your clients do it yourself, and it's actually better than if you hire me. So that's visual marketing, is understand when you need a professional and when you need to do it yourself. I'll give you a good example of when you need to do it yourself and what it needs to say. So whatever your service is, if you have a client that really, really love you and love working with you, and they create a testimonial for you on their own phone, and they put it up, you put it on social media and everything else like that, them recording themselves on a phone or a device, it makes it look real. It's not a commercial. It's a real, authentic communication. Somebody that was so happy about you that they went on their device and they recorded it. And that's gold. That's absolutely gold. It's one of the times where it's good for it not to be too polished, not for it to be too professional. It just needs to be real. And that helps a lot. Now, there is times, like I said, that you absolutely need a professional video, and you'll know, and there's levels to it, but there is times where, you could do it yourself. Being a realtor, again, besides your pictures and everything else, you just sold a house. I would go on Facebook Live, in that area. I would market it to the demographics, every house in that area. Hey, we're excited. We just sold this house here. Like, that could be live. That could be real. And everyone around them that's thinking about selling them would see that,
Okay. All right. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. So just wanted to take a sec. So definitely we appreciate everybody's comments, and feel free to comment and ask questions. As you know, we're getting them from Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and then we're also live on the metaverse, which is really cool. We're live on STEM City USA, broadcasting live in the metaverse. So we're evolving with technology as well, which is pretty exciting. Yes, sir. So, definitely, keep commenting. And one thing I'd like to ask those of you who are on YouTube is, please make sure and subscribe to the channel, because then you'll get info about each week when we have different guests, and you'll be able to get reminders. Plus, you can see previous episodes there. So thanks for that. So, Jason, when we're talking about visual marketing, and you've got pictures. How about visual drawings or artwork? How can people use that effectively, and what's the difference, or when might you use one versus the other?
Well, never be afraid to say you don't know. I almost hit you with that. I don't know. I'm not the thing, but I did think about that. Sometimes your startup and your product is not something tangible yet. It's an idea. It's a concept, and that's where, and it's a great time, to use art, to use drawings and different things like that to give people an idea. And how many people invest in ideas and vision and different things like that, and then creativity. It's you push the limit. Everybody's going one way, so one person go the opposite way. That's when you really do it. If they're building a house, they create a sketch and they sell the sketch to the business owner. That's visual marketing. Hey, what made them spend all that money on the house? It was the drawing, it was the sketch. They love it.
Okay, great. So, yeah, I mean, definitely, there's a lot of different ways to market, a lot of different tools for marketing, but, marketing your brand. Yes.
Andrew, do you think we're marketing, the Michael Jordan look, or you think we're marketing that right now, making it look good? That's marketing too. Are we marketing that look? Are we bringing it back?
I think we're marketing the hair club for men.
Actually, somebody said that. I did this guy headshot, and he said, "Well, I'll pay $1 billion if you could give me a full head of hair." I said, "Nah, man. I mean, I think you look good. I think the style is different, man. It's not like the old days where this is not the look. I think we're marketing well, and put that in the comments how you think we're doing. Let us know, okay?"
Okay, just as long as my kids aren't there, because they're like, "Dad, you need Bosley."
Be nice.
So kids are always tough, but that's all right.
They're rough.
But definitely, marketing visually. One thing that I've done is, hey, thanks, Precious. So looking good. So
see,
we're doing all right. So, one key thing that I've done a lot of videos, and what I've found is probably the most important thing, and one of the first things to do is the script. So can you talk about developing a script and your thoughts on scripts, and how to make them successful?
When I was young, one of the most interesting projects I got to be a part of, I was really, really young, and a friend of mine who's an entrepreneur was building a mall, and something so big and something so there. And I was there when there was nothing there. And every day they would come together at the drawings and the plans, and every post, everything that goes up, they go back to drawing and the plan. You went to go tell somebody something or had a conversation with someone, and you had an idea what you wanted to say, and then you talked for 5 minutes and you didn't actually say what you want to say. That's what the script does. It's the blueprint, it's the plan, it's the message that you need to go across. I think the message is super important for a video. One of the biggest issues I have when I'm helping entrepreneurs create videos, or when I see them create videos on their own, there's too much messages, they're selling too much, so the video itself is not effective. Effective video has one message and one call to action. When you watch a commercial on TV, they're not selling 10 things, they're only selling one thing, and there's one idea and there's one call to action. So messaging is important. Other than that, it'll be like 80% of the videos you see. It's fun. We enjoy it. That was good. But we forget it as soon as we finish watching it.
Okay. All right. So got to be clear and concise and focused on really what the single message is and what the call to action is on your videos. Okay. Okay. So, there's all different types of social media and other digital marketing opportunities for business owners. So, when you're creating something for Facebook versus LinkedIn versus Instagram, talk a little bit about versus YouTube. Talk a little bit about kind of some of the considerations or some of the strategies you help people with, and what type of visual marketing tends to work best on the platforms.
Okay, so now we're playing basketball. You just threw me an alley-oop. We just purchased a new office in Wayne, New Jersey, and one of the things that I have in there is a studio. I call it my content creation studio, and basically we help folks that are like trying to get their YouTube channel. They want to be an expert in a topic or something like that. So we would shoot 2 videos or so a month for YouTube, or once a week so they could post it. And it's very interesting because we would do the main video for YouTube. Maybe it's about 5 to 10 minutes or so. But then in that same concept, let's take accounting, for example. Why budgeting is important. So that's the 10-minute video. But then now for Instagram, you might break down a 1-minute video, 5 reasons you need to budget, 10 things that happen, another 1 minute, 10 things that happen when you don't budget your money properly. Where's my money going? Why people don't, are not making a profit. So it's a smaller 1-minute video. It's very important to know your audience and to know who's on what platform and how much time you will have their attention for. As opposed to LinkedIn, the humor might be different, or some of the things you'll get away with there. I've definitely seen people say, oh, not on this platform, this is professional. So, it's just knowing your audience, and creating things specific to speak to that particular audience.
Okay. So really, understanding your target market and focusing on them is key. And one of the most important things you can do in business, but you can, support your messages visually as much as possible. So, okay, cool. So, one of the things that a lot of business owners have, especially if you have a brick and mortar, is your location, and especially nowadays, not as many places have a location. Would you? What are some ways that you can use to really highlight someone's location, and what are some of the key benefits of being able to do that?
So let me understand that question again. You said, what are the key? Are we talking to people who don't have a physical location, or people that do?
People with a physical location, because a lot of times, I know you've done videos with letting people know about different organizations, and doing about videos or other things, and really it includes information, video or pictures of their location, and what do you look to accomplish with that, and what do you look for when you're doing that?
It's interesting, and how you said one of the chapters in your book is, if I could go back to my old job. I feel it for entrepreneurs. I mean, certain entrepreneurs, they need their location. Their location is based on their business is based on their location, or whether they use it for storage or to work out of, or that's where the team is there. Certain businesses, it's tough to have a physical location, and I feel like we're in a world and a place where it's not enough anymore to just have a location. Um, Mainly depending on the type of service. I mean, if you have a dentist, I mean, if you're a dentist, the people need somewhere to come in. If you're, a doctor office and they come in to visit you, but um, outside of businesses like that, I don't feel it's enough. I feel like your SEO, your Google My Business become crucial. Those are things that people know who you are. I mean, 85% of the time when a lot of people's looking for something, or just ask yourself how many times this week you were somewhere and you looked up this near me, food near me, that near me, and whether they're all physical location, but how people know you're there, marketing, is digitally. So having the brick and mortar is half of the game now. The other half of the game is to make sure your digital footprint is there so that anyone that's in that area knows. Now, I'm not an SEO or I'm not a website person, but they're crucial. You need it. Like your website, your SEO, your Google, it needs to scream when someone is in your area that I am here. I am here. This is where we're located. Unless you're just in such a busy place that walk-in traffic is all you need, then digitally you have to let people know you're there as well.
Okay, and that's a good point. You may have a website, but a lot of times, people check you out and find out information about you in a lot more often not from your website, be it LinkedIn, be it, like you said, Google, um, be it other social media types. So it's important to have the best profile that you can.
Can I just add one thing here? Can I
Sure.
just add one thing here to this? Because it's like crucial. I can't get past this enough. Because some people do think, well, I have a website. SEO is almost more important sometimes than website. Um, if you imagine what impact your business would have if you're number one, if you're the first person that comes up within any geographical area when people search for your service. Um, I know one or two businesses that experience that, and in one of our business, we get the call first for headshots, and you know, in other areas of our business we could survive, but for that particular service we need someone to answer the phone because we get that many calls. So with that being said, I just want you to think about how would your business change if for one particular search or one particular service you came up first. And if that's not happening, you should always be working towards that organically and not organically. um, it's the number one principle of marketing, letting people know you're there. Digitally, you have to let people know you're there, else why are you in business?
Great point. Great point. And actually, that likens back to something that I talk to a lot of business owners about is preparing for growth. Um, you know, if you're not prepared for the growth that you can experience, a lot of times growth can be a blessing, but also it can be a curse because businesses go out of business just as fast for having too much business as not having enough. So, thinking about, what do you need to grow? If your business grew by 20%, what would you need to put into place to be able to handle that? Um, you have to have, first, you have to have a plan. It's important to kind of think about, what you're going to do to grow and how you're going to manage your growth. Um, of course, you have to do marketing, so having a marketing strategy, but you have to have the capacity, and that's one place where a lot of businesses get stuck. And the other places you have to track and measure what's happening so that you can stay on top of your growth. So definitely that's very important. So we're coming up on the hour, which always comes faster than I would think. But this has been good. One of the things I always like to ask our guests is, think about 3 key things that you want people to take away from what we talked about today, because we talked about a lot of different concepts, a lot of different ideas and strategies, but what are the 3 key things that someone should take away and they can really get started working on tomorrow? And take a sec to think about it. We'll do a quick commercial. Definitely, as your business is growing, it's key to understand and prepare. And one of the things I did to help people to be able to do that is put together my book, the Masterpreneur Playbook, and it takes you through the 5 steps of going from startup to scaling your business. So we'll do a quick video on that. We'll come back and Jason will talk to us about the 3 key things to take away from tonight, and then we'll wrap things up. So cool. So here you go.
This is my role.
The best sports teams have a proven playbook. Everyone should have one. We've got one for you, because there are so many things you need to know as a business owner. Many business owners work longer and harder for less money than if they had a job, because they are on the wrong path.
Break that cycle with the Masterpreneur Playbook, a 5-step business growth plan that addresses the challenges that business owners face going from working in their business to working on their business. Hello, my name is Andrew Frazier, a business growth pro and CFO. The Masterpreneur Playbook incorporates proven strategies for successfully growing your business that I discovered during my personal journey.
Is there any reason you wouldn't want to accelerate the growth of your business, make more money, and have more free time? Of course you would. Don't hesitate. Visit www.spprou.com to download a complimentary copy of the Masterpreneur Playbook today.
Okay. Great. So we're back, Leadership Live, talking to Jason Martin about visual marketing and how that can make your efforts much more successful in terms of marketing. So talk to us a little bit about 3 key things that people should be taking away from what we discussed today.
I think the number one thing you need to do is assess. You need to really look at visually what people see when they look at your company or your service, from your headshots to the pictures on your website. Just do a visual, and how old is your headshot? Does it look older? Is it a selfie? Like, examine every area of your business and see visually. If I never met you before, I don't know what you look like. What does everything say? What is your thing saying about you? Does it say you're a professional? Does it say you're the top? Do you look successful? Do you look confident? So first thing is assess what visually everything is saying about you, yourself. I think that's one of the most important thing you could do, is just kind of assess where you are visually. The second thing is that I think is really, really, really important is that minimum start off with a great headshot. If you're in business or you want to be in business, make sure you have a great headshot. That's the most important thing. And I think if I was to give a third most important thing, is that I would make sure that it's part of that assessing, but I would make sure that people are able to see you or reach you. I would really look into what Google is saying about you, when people look up your service, just to know where you stand, or just to see when you do come up, what does it say if you would do business with yourself. I guess that would be my 3 things for now. I'm not really prepared for it. It was just hit me, but off the top, that's what I would say walk away from today is assess, make sure you have a great headshot, and then just make sure that you come up when someone's looking for your service.
Okay. So that makes sense. That makes sense because you know, a lot of times there's content out there about you that isn't exactly what you may want it to be. So so even visual experts run into that, as with your LinkedIn you were telling us about earlier
Yeah.
with your image. So it's always good to not only look at it once, but continually look at what you have because um, you know, as a business owner, your business is going to evolve,
Yeah.
and
And I don't do websites, Andrew, but I take the expense. I go through the thing of saying, hey, 4 or 5 years, the website doesn't look like who we are, so we have to change it. That's our digital place. That's our brick and mortar. So visually, we got to make sure it represent who we are, so we're not giving the wrong impression.
yep, yep, because definitely a lot of people take their cues from what they're seeing. A lot of times they won't say anything, or they might not even you know interact with. It. But if they interact with your brand, and it doesn't really resonate with them, then that's a lost opportunity.
Andrew, have you ever walked into a store hungry, looking forward to eating something, and you walked inside the store, you had it in mind, you went there to buy, you looked and you walk in the place, and something about the place, something about the food that you saw visually turned you off, and you said, I'm not going to eat here. You didn't say it to them, but you just kind of walked out and said, I'm okay. Has that
Um,
ever happened to you?
yes, definitely has. I would say me not as much as other people because I spent some time in the military. So after military food, you're not as choosy, but definitely you know whenever I go into a business or organization, I always check them out and sort of assess, what do I like, what do I not like, and what can I borrow, what would I never do, and really continually learn by seeing what other people are doing. So, so yeah, so this has been great. Definitely this is something important to business owners, and really breaking it down to what they can do tomorrow. They can take a look and assess what they have tomorrow easily. If they don't have a headshot, they can make an appointment to get a headshot, or at least take a better headshot themselves than what they currently have, and then see what else is showing up about them on the internet, because you'd be surprised. So cool. Any last thing you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, exactly what Andrew said. Just take pride in yourself. People, whether you like it or not, people are judging you. I know your pie is good. I know the house is good, but they're gonna buy from you because there's someone else selling the same thing, and they'll do it because they have a better relationship, or that person just look better, or they trust them more. So give yourself every advantage to win.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Hang on for a sec. I'm just going to close things out, and we'll go from there. So, so thanks again, everybody, for tuning in and hanging out with us this evening. Continue to wish you continued success. Every week we have a new show, a new guest, and really find that to be really helpful and really valuable. So I'm looking forward to next week, because next week our guest is Mr. Wayne Smith. He's president and CEO of Wayne Smith Associates, but he's also been a mayor of a major city in New Jersey, and going to talk about secrets for developing business in urban cities. Doing business with the government or municipalities is a lot different than doing business with other business owners and with individuals. So, it's better in some ways. You can get bigger contracts and longer term contracts, but it's harder in other ways because actually getting the opportunity to do it, figuring out what's the right fit and when things are due, and putting together the right package. So, looking forward to talking to Wayne about sort of, how we should approach it. If we should approach it, do we have the right type of business? Is it the right time? Different key things about being able to do business potentially with municipalities and urban cities, because they spend millions and billions of dollars. And, these are opportunities to help your business grow. So definitely look forward to having that next week. Thanks again for everybody tuning in. Thanks for your comments. And, at the end of the day, the more that you know, the faster your business is going to grow.
Thank you for listening to Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Leadership Live is one of the many valuable resources provided through the Small Business Pro University, empowering business owners to learn, profit, and grow. Find out more at sbpro.u.com.